Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Kelly. Today we're going back to our Generac generator project. Last time we talked about the generator, we fixed the pull rope. That work actually worked out pretty good. I was kind of questionable about the size, the diameter of the rope. I thought the new universal rope kit that I bought was a little small, but it seems to be working just fine. We'll see. Worst case scenario, now we know how to change it. Last time I've never changed the pull rope and anything like that, so I wasn't real sure how to do it, but we got that figured out together on YouTube. So this time we're going to do an oil change on this thing. It's I don't know that I've ever changed oil in it, embarrassingly. So we're going to get this thing in here, get the oil changed in it. I got the oil filter in finally. Had to order that that was an Amazon special. I went to AutoZone, went to Napa. They couldn't cross it, didn't have it in stock. Wanted to order it. Maybe this is the right one type deal where the actual part number, just like the one off of the machine, I could order that off Amazon. They sent it straight to the house for $11. You can't beat that. And it's the same exact part number as what we knew we had on it. So we're going to get this thing in here and get started on it. First, we're going to go out and crank it up and let it warm up a few minutes. The oil in it right now is cold. It won't want to drain as well as good warm oil. The warmer the oil, it gets a little bit thinner, comes out a little bit easier, a little faster. It'll pick up some of the particulates off the bottom. It'll get it mixed into the flowing oil and help wash out, drain out all the junk that's in there. So you always want to make sure you warm up your car, your truck, your tractor, whatever you're working on. Before you change the oil, make sure to crank it up and let it warm up a few minutes. It doesn't have to get completely hot. Some will argue that point, but it can get warm. Let it warm up a minute or two or three. That'll be fine. I don't like to let them get too hot because I don't want to burn my little piggies. But we're going to crank it up, let it run, and then we're going to get it in the garage in here and get to working on this thing. So here we go. Let's get it. All right, guys, we got this thing warmed up. I probably let it run for 2 or 3 minutes out there. Got it brought inside, and I got some of the things laid out that we're going to need some of the tools and things we're going to use to get the oil changed in this sucker. Of course, we got to have a drain pan. Got a good oil drain pan. I got a piece of pig mat here, pig mat oil drain or oil absorption mat. It's going to take I got my Snap-on 11/16 wrench and some channel lock number 209 small filter pliers. Got the Generac brand oil filter and some Kindle engine oil that I have. I had a bulk of this stuff, had many gallons of it, and I'm just now going through. I think I got 4 or 5 gallons left, but I'm going to use this. It's full synthetic, and the generator does call for synthetic oil. So that's what we're going to put in it. Is it the right thing? I don't know, but it's what we're going to use. So let's get started. We can see there's the oil filter and the oil drain spot right there. They got a nice 90-degree fitting on it right there. And I'll point at it with my wrench. That's the oil drain fitting right there. Oil filter, pretty easy to use, but the problem is right next to the muffler. So if you let it run too long, you do have a chance of burning your hands or fingers on that, so be super careful. Okay, let's go. Also going to use, I got my Snap-on channel locks here. Something I like to do is always go over to the feel side on these things. Crack that thing loose and pull it out. What it does, get that out there. Ooh, it's running out. Oh, that's okay. Get it cleaned up there. Hurry. Oil drain mat, put on that. There we go. Oh, I already made a mess. That didn't take long. Oil drain pan put up under there. So what taking the oil fill plug out does is it keeps that from getting an air pocket in there. And I don't know, I guess would you call it a vapor lock type situation? Or the oil won't drain out because it actually makes a vacuum in there. All right, let's get this out. Let's see how slick we can be. Get this cap off without getting oil all over us. All right, look at there. Just a little AN thread, I believe that's called. Let that drain out. I think there's about a quart or so in there. So let's get that to draining. Looking good. That is pretty hot. Okay, while that's draining, let's get the oil filter out. Looks good. Usually they're sealed there, I thought. This time, I guess it's not sealed. So what I'm going to do, a little dent in it, I want to introduce a little oil into this so we don't have that lessens the possibility of a dry start because it is angled up a little bit. Put just a little oil in there. Let it run up to the top one time. We're doing this while the oil is draining out. It's draining pretty good. A little oil on the O-ring there to keep it from galling or binding up. Run down a little bit, put a little bit more in there. Don't want to put too much because you're going to lose some because the angle this filter's on, it's kind of hard to get to and you have to fiddle around to get it on there, etc. So you don't want to put too much in there, but I do like to saturate the filter element in there, the paper filter element in there. Looks like we've got that going good. We'll set that to the side. Let's spin you guys back around here. As you can see, we do have oil draining coming out pretty good there. Looking nice. All right, let's see if we can get this oil filter off. Again, using these channel lock 209s. See if we can get a good hold. Get that sucker turning. Yeah, no problem. No problem over there. Let that drain. I hear the oil coming out. Hitting the pan. Not too much is hitting the floor, thank goodness. Those threads are hell long. There we go. Yeah, that oil's pretty dirty. So we'll just leave that in our pan there. Let's make sure our mating surface here where the gasket goes is good and clean. Everything looks good there. Guys, I'm sniffling. I'm sorry, but it's allergy season here in Mississippi, North Mississippi. And this is, the allergies have really got a hold of me today. I just got done mowing the yard. And I think half the clippings went up inside my sinuses. All right. Oil film the gasket. Screw on until gasket makes contact with base. Tighten 3/4 of one turn. Start engine to check for oil leaks. So that's about 3/4 of a turn there. It's usually good practice just to turn that by hand. If you put your pliers on there and crank that down, try not to do that if you can help it. It mashes the gasket too much, and sometimes it makes it a bear to get off next time for your next service. Looks like all of our oil has quit draining out of there. Looking good. Let's clean that up a little bit. Wipe those threads off. Make sure our little cap looks good. Wipe the inside of the cap out. Let's put that on there. Let's give that a little snug. All right, not too much. There is a torque reading for that. I don't know what it is, but for this job, we're just going to use the wrench, put it on there, give it a good little pull right there. Enough. I was actually rocking the engine on the engine mounts a little bit, so I'm sure that's quite tight enough. All right, let's go to the other side, see if we can put some oil back in the sucker. Looking good. Alright guys, I'm going to have to speed this one up just a little bit. I messed up my audio. But what we're doing here is just adding a little bit of oil. You've seen the oil plug. Some of them you feel flush to the bottom of the oil fill hole, and some of them actually have little dipsticks on the stick. This one is just filled up flush within a thread or two of being to the bottom. Spraying it off here with a little brake clean. Going to get the plug put back in the thing there, kind of showing you where the oil level is. Oil level goes there. It's right up to the bottom, right where exactly where we need it to be. Looking good. Get the plug put back in there. It can be a little difficult. Try not to cross thread the thing. Run her on down. Give it just a little. I always like to give mine just a little extra squeeze with a pair of pliers or something. Not too much, that's plastic, but literally just a very little squeeze there. Spray it off a little bit. Gets rid of some of that residual dirt. That way you can see if you got a fresh oil leak. Just kind of cleans everything up. Makes it look a little bit nicer. All right, everyone. Didn't get to finish the generator job yesterday. Didn't get to finish filming it, showing you everything that I should have showed you. I had a neighbor drop by, hung out with him for a few minutes, talked. Then the kids got crazy, we all know. But this is the next morning. What we're going to do is go out here, and the part that I didn't put in, got the oil filled up to flush with the oil fill hole. And we got the cap put back on. Now we're going to crank it up this morning, let it run a couple minutes, and then pop the cap back off to make sure that the oil's not over full and that it is up to level. So let's get to doing that. All right, here we go. Just give it on, pull the choke out. Come on, one pull, one pull. One moment later. Okay, got that done. Now let's get this plug pulled out and see how we are on our oil level. Let's get you down here, we can see something. All right, again, this is our check plug. Slightly snug, not overly tight. Let's pull it out. Probably got a little overfull, I would imagine. No, it's right there. It's right up to the bottom, right where it needs to be. So when you take it out, it should be within a couple of threads of being to the point where it pours out right there. So we're looking good. I think we're just right. Oh, get the old plug run back in there. Crank her down. Now here's another important part. There is a rubber O-ring on this. Make sure that's in place. Make sure that it's still there, and make sure it's in good shape. This one's still around. Sometimes they'll get, if you over tighten the plug, they'll get mashed too much, and you have flat. It'll be flat spotted out. It'll kind of flatten it out, being a round O-ring. It won't seal well that way, or could have nicks or tears in it. If it does, get you a replacement, put it on there. That guarantees a good oil seal on that. Won't have oil going everywhere. All right, let's get this plug in there. Everything's looking good, and I got 2 more points I want to go over with you, and then we'll move on. All right, everyone, here's something that I like to do for my generator. I like to take a small fan. It doesn't have to be a box fan, any orientation of fan, as long as it doesn't have a high energy pool, because you don't want to overload your the generator, is to put a small fan in there and help to promote some thermal management, help blow some of that heat out of there. Your generator will appreciate it, especially in the summer months. A lot of generators get put beside trucks or in front or behind trailers or inside of trailers or in the bed of trucks, and they don't get a lot of airflow. And your generator will surely be happy with a little extra airflow that even a small, cheap Walmart fan like this, a little $20 box fan, your generator appreciate that, and it will help prolong the life of your generator without a doubt. It doesn't cost much, easy to carry around. I keep this fan close to the generator all the time. You can put it right there where it blows on the generator part and the motor side of it, just to keep it cool. Anything to promote airflow across that will be good for it, and you'll appreciate it. It will definitely help the old generator out and make for a better day for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really need the subscriptions. We really need the likes. But thank you guys for enjoying. Thank you for putting up with my mumbling and stumbling, and hope to catch you on the next video. Again, thanks guys.